Damon Allen can't seem to find him enough offensively, and Calgary hasn't punted the ball at all. So he hasn't got those punt return yards up.
And when Calgary does punt it, Tony Martino, under strict instructions from Wally Buono, doesn't kick it to him. First down, BC from the Calgary 39-yard line. Allen, pump fake. Other side for Cunningham, and he almost tipped it right to Jackie Kellogg, who would have gone the other way with it. As it is, it falls as an incompletion and brings up second down. Jackie Kellogg's having quite a day, taking the place of Kenton Leonard for the Calgary Stampeders.
Well, this is something that Calgary really hasn't done all game. You see Darryl Hall coming on the stunt from the outside, and when Allen sees that, he sort of rushes the throw and can't get it out to Jimmy Cunningham.
Injured player down for the Calgary Stampeders. It's Jeff Traversy. And while we have a moment, we'll take a break and come right back to McMahon Stadium. John Hufnagel, the quarterbacking consultant for the BC Lions, must feel like the furnace man on the Titanic right now.
Well, the media here in Calgary were saying, calling him a traitor and saying that he was probably going to steal signals and send him in quickly, and if he is, he's hiding it well.
That's unfair. That really is unfair to say about John Hufnagel.
And he's not going to do that.
If you know him as a person, you know he'd never do it anyway.
There's no way.
Second down and 10 for Allen from the shotgun. Allen over the middle. He's got Cunningham. Cunningham, whoa, look out, gets corralled from behind. And he's short of a first down as Eddie Davis comes up to make the stop.
Yeah, but I think it's safe to say for the BC Lions right now, it's 3-down football for them.
Has been since late in the first quarter.
Yeah.
The Jet having a decent day, though. He comes up about 2 yards short of a BC first down.
He does look good. You know, he was injured when he was down in the NFL and sure isn't showing any signs of being injured. He's running hard and looks like he did last year.
His punt return for a touchdown in the Grey Cup last year, one of the electrifying plays in Toronto's championship win. Did it in the snow, and of course the much replayed dive into the end zone. Toronto Argonauts.
The chance it could be snowing for this year's Grey Cup as well.
I'd say that's a fairly good possibility. Third down, Corey Philpott, and did he get it? I don't know. He's at the 28-yard line. I don't know if he got it.
Well, he got a generous spot, and I still don't think he got it.
Corey Philpott's first carry of the game comes on 3rd and 2, and we'll see what kind of spot they got. The Calgary offense is coming out on the field. And it is first down, Stampeders.
When you leave your feet like Corey Philpott just did, you take a bit of a gamble. You leave your feet and get up and over the top, you'll get the first down or the touchdown if you're on the goal line. But if you leave it and get caught in midair, now you can't drive. You can't move after that, so you get pushed back.
And among those getting in was Bronzell Miller.
Yeah, he just picks him up and throws him back the other way.
Jeff Traversy, by the way, was injured earlier and made his way off the field, but there's another injured Calgary Stampeder down now, and right at the 30-yard line, and it's Raymond Biggs who is down now for Calgary. So on a day when Calgary's done a lot of things right, the defense gets into the act.
Yeah, they get a good surge at the point of attack. Corey Philpott decides, I'm going to leave my feet and get up and over. Bronzell Miller catches him in midair, and then they just take him back. And he did get a pretty good spot, but he was still short.
2:51 to play in the third quarter. The CFL Live returns to McMahon Stadium right after this.
Ceiling fan would help.
The Stamps started their own 30-yard line first down after the defense turned BC away on third down, and Garcia steps up, but Dave Chaters is there to meet him, and Garcia is stopped for a loss of about a yard. Well, this must be a record. I think the decision desk is declaring Calgary the winner here.
Well, that is a record.
Which means the Stamps will finish 10-8. Will play host to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, while the BC Lions will go to Montreal to play the Alouettes. And the winner, of course, there will go to Toronto and face the Argos in the Eastern Final. The winner in the West gets Edmonton at Commonwealth Stadium. Garcia rolls out, guns it for Pitts, and he makes the catch at the 42-yard line, keeps his feet in bounds, and has a Calgary Stampeder first down.
Well, it's a great play call because Jeff Garcia's going to roll to his left, and Pitts has time to work the out. You see, he goes up the field a little bit and has lots of time. He knows because it's a full rollout, he has more time to work the defensive back in Leonard Humphries and Don Wilson, so he can take his time and makes a nice catch and concentration, keeping his feet in bounds.
First down, Calgary now from the 42-yard line. Garcia, a kind of Statue of Liberty played, and Kelvin Anderson. Flag comes down, and Anderson dragged down at the 46-yard line. Has a gain of about 5, but there's a flag on the play, and it's coming back.
Yeah, maybe a clip. I believe it was Terry Vaughn on Robert Holland.
Now, I wonder if Wally Buono would be at all concerned about his team in the second half not performing as well as it did in the first half. As we listen for Bud Steen.
Illegal block, Calgary number 2.
Terry Vaughn called for the illegal block.
Yeah, that was on Robert Holland. Well, you know, my question, though, and I just don't see why Jeff Garcia is still in the football game. I mean, he missed last week, but how rusty can you get in just 1 week? He practiced all week and threw the ball, and
Hey, he's grinning.
he is. There's a smile.
I think that was a smirk. I think that was a sarcastic smirk for the official. First down. Garcia guns it out there for Danielson. He slips trying to make his move. Gets up to about the 36-yard line. Pick up a 4.
You know, you take a gamble, and I know you like to keep your offense sharp, and like we said, Garcia didn't play last week, but he's taken a couple of hits. Dave Chater's on this drive twisted him down, and you know, this is a chance for Dave Dickinson to maybe come in and play a quarter, and of course he took a lot of hits and had a rough game last week against Toronto, so that could get something positive here this afternoon if he could get some playing time.
100 minutes to go in the third quarter. Garcia in the shotgun on 2nd and 17. Garcia's got a long way to go. Up and throwing. He's got his man. He's got a first down. It's Terry Vaughn into BC territory. Brought down at the 48-yard line, and Calgary converts another 2nd and long, much to the chagrin of Adam Rita.
When your quarterback rolls out and breaks contain, it's awful tough to play zone. Terry Vaughn is the middle player right here. He's going to curl down in the zone.
Took a big shot there.
Well,
too,
he gets jammed, but see, Garcia breaks contain, and when he breaks contain, the zones will start to stretch, and that's why Terry Vaughn can get in behind.
First down, Calgary. Give goes up to Kelvin Anderson, a first down, as he fights his way down to the 37-yard line for a pickup of 11. And that is the final play of the third quarter. The final quarter of the regular season is coming up, but now let's send you back to our CFL Control Center.
Welcome back to our CFL Live Control Studio. I'm Rod Smith. You know, after this game, we go directly to baseball, so this is the last chance for us to say goodbye, our final game and our final little bit here. And I want to thank you all for making this fun and entertaining for me. It has been a great year. Around the horn, Bob Obilovich, just tell me some of your highlights, if one highlight in particular, not necessarily of our shows maybe, or something that happened on the field.
There's no question about Marty shaving off that mustache. That was the highlight of the year.
And there he is, Mr. York, looking 10 years younger. All this time,
that would make me 10.
All this time, I thought it was dried milk, but no, you actually did have a mustache there, and it is gone.
And the other thing, the other game that I watched with close was Tony Antunovic whipping the Big C. And hang in there, Tony, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, couldn't say it any better than that.
I guess my favorite would have to have been the interview between Marty York and Mike Pringle. I mean, for me, to sit here and watch that was just hilarious, especially with me sitting right next to Marty, and he's trying to keep a straight face through the whole thing.
I don't think Mike Pringle enjoyed it too much.
Actually, that's funny. I was going to pick the same highlight for me, except I would have said that in more articulate fashion than you did.
Oh, well, of course. You write all the time.
Well, actually, gentlemen, I really did have a hoot here. It was wonderful working with you guys, and we'll see how it goes in the postseason. It's going to be an interesting postseason.
Speaking of which, let's go around once and let's tell me at least, if you're not going to tell me a winner, who do you think is going to meet in the Grey Cup?
I think Calgary and Toronto are going to be in the Grey Cup. I said that at the beginning of the year.
And I'm going to stick with my beginning of the year prediction, and I'm going to go with Edmonton and Montreal.
Edmonton, Montreal. And you did say that
Montreal.
at the time.
Montreal.
Yeah, well, I could be as bad as you.
No, I mean, you got to make a little bit more sensible selection than that. Toronto will be in the Grey Cup for sure. And, you know, I picked at the beginning, I picked Saskatchewan to be in there against Toronto. And You know what? I don't want to waver on that now. Oh.
I've always had a tendency to agree with the coach, and I think I'm going to agree with the coach one more time. A rematch of the 1991 game and the 71 game, and they each won, Calgary and Toronto. I think that's what it'll be. We're done. Thanks, you guys.
Yeah,
it
thanks
was
a lot.
blast.
Thank
Let's
you,
head back
Rod.
to Calgary
It was
now.
fun.
Well, as the boys dip into the eggnog there and sing Auld Lang Syne, we've still got a quarter to go here in Calgary.
I thought they were going to break into Kumbaya there for a minute.
I'm afraid they're hugging right now. First down from the 37-yard line for Jeff Garcia and the Stamps, who are far from done. Garcia under center. Here comes the blitz. Garcia looking deep. He's got a man. Travis Moore. Did he make a catch? No. It was almost a circus catch in the end zone. Travis Moore had the ball just slipped through his fingers.
That one would have been one heck of a catch. He had to turn around about 3 times and almost pulled it off the turf.
Travis Moore, who already has a touchdown catch in the game, gunning for his second.
Look at that falling away from the football, and I'm not so sure if he might not have it just enough time to cross the plane. But what's interesting is the intensity in Jeff Garcia with a 36-3 lead heading into the fourth quarter, and he's still intense.
Second down, and Garcia wants to talk it over. He'll take time out here with 14:25 to go in the fourth quarter.
You know, it's interesting that the predictions going on in the panel there in that quarter break, and Calgary's name never came into it.
Oh, a couple ago, Rod picked Calgary and Toronto. And they go,
Calgary?
Yeah,
No, they said Edmonton.
No. Albie picked Calgary and Toronto. And,
Oh, okay. They look pretty good right now.
Yeah, they do look very good.
I wasn't listening. You're
Come on, admit it. Yeah. What's interesting, too, is that, you know, you think about Calgary and the number of times that Calgary's been disappointed at home in the Western Final. Talking to Wally Buono yesterday, he said the BC win over Calgary in the 94 West Final was probably the most bitter loss he suffered as the coach, and nothing Calgary would like to do more than go to Edmonton and repay the Eskimos for a couple of those Western Final losses that have happened here at McMahon Stadium. And of course, Calgary won the Western Final in Edmonton in 1991. Garcia slings it out there for Terry Vaughn. Another first down about the 24-yard line. Here are the numbers through 3 quarters in the football game, and they tell a story that is all too familiar. Both BC turnovers have been on downs, but just 130 net yards for the Lions, at 338 for Calgary. The Stamps have racked up 22 first downs in the football game.
You know, the other thing the Calgary Stampeders wanted to prove in this game is that they can beat BC.
The only team they haven't beaten this year.
That's right.
Garcia, play fake to Kelvin Anderson. Now he throws for Pitts. Pitts has the first down and gets down to the 12-yard line for another Stampeder first down.
So you can't play coverage defensively. It doesn't matter if you're in man or zone. It doesn't really matter if you can't keep the quarterback in the pocket. And the BC Lions have not been able to do that all afternoon. Garcia has rolled out right and left, got outside the pocket all day, and it stretches the coverage. And there's no way, I don't care what kind of defensive backs you have, you're not going to be able to stay with receivers.
What's remarkable, if Calgary should get to Edmonton for the Western Final, it would mark the 7th time in the 90s that Edmonton and Calgary have met in the Western Final. Garcia on first down, trying to get away from Virgil Robertson, now just fires it well over the head of the intended target, Dwayne Ford, I think. And that pass falls incomplete, and Jimmy the Jet gets a rude introduction to what's been going on with the BC Lions so far, saying it was never like this in Toronto.
Well, you know, the positive side for BC and what they're going to have to do when they get in is do what Wally Buono did last week. Throw the tape away, for starters. Put it behind you. Adam Rita had to throw last week's tape away. In fact, he's probably thrown the last 4 weeks away.
He's just recording movies over there.
and get ready for the playoffs, because, you know, it comes down to one game, and it doesn't matter how poorly you played in the last game of the regular season, you have a chance to win.
Garcia to the corner of the end zone. Alan Pitts, touchdown. And Pitts has some words for Damian Lyons. And now those two have to be separated. And now Rocco Romano comes into Damian Lyons' face. The Lions-Pitts matchup would be interesting. The Romano-Lions matchup would be a rout, and there is a flag on the play. And Pitts really wants the piece of Lions and gives it the spike with emphasis at the 5-yard line. And you can see that the BC-Calgary rivalry is as intense as it's ever been.
Calgary, 66.
Offsetting unnecessary roughness fouls. And so the Pitts touchdown, I believe, is negated. Or are they saying it came after the touchdown?
Well, if it was between Pitts and Damian Lyons, it was definitely after.
Well, Rocky the horse has already run, so I mean, that's the official sign, isn't it? And I believe it is the point after coming from McLaughlin. It is. So the touchdown by Pitts stands. That'll be Pitts' 9th of the year, and that will bring him within 1 of Dick Shadow and Tommy Scott for 3rd on the CFL's all-time touchdown list, and it'll make him 7 back of Brian Kelly on the all-time receiving touchdowns list.
Hey.
Do you know the only CFL player with 100 touchdowns in his career?
No, I don't, but I'm sure you do offhand.
George Reed with 137 in his career.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Mark McLaughlin for the point after. Calgary, after surrendering more than 40 last week, is over 40 this week. Make it 43-3 Stamps with 12:13 to play in the 4th. Back with more after this. Alan Pitts is fierce a competitor as you'll find in the Canadian Football League. And why was he so fired up? Well, this was the play before the touchdown. After the play, Pitts wiped out by Dave Chaters. Then on the touchdown pass, Chaters got to Jeff Garcia just after he threw the football. And, ooh, that was low. And then after catching the touchdown pass, Pitts with the words for Damian Lyons. And this BC-Calgary rivalry, which goes back to the time when Larry Kaharick left Calgary, signed on with BC to coach, when Calgary signed Doug Flutie away from BC. There's been a lot of off and on-field controversy between these two teams. Here's Jimmy Cunningham on the kickoff return, looking for a seam. He gets up to the 36-yard line. Stop is made there by Farrell Duclair. Mentioned that Pitts is moving up. He's now 4th on the all-time touchdown list. He's 2nd on the touchdown receiving list, behind only the great Brian Kelly. And Alan Pitts is 7 away from him.
Well, Alan Pitts, and if he plays probably 2.5, 3 years, can become the all-time leading receiver at the pace that he's on in his career. Surpass Ray Elgard, who holds that title right now, and do it in about half the time.
You talk about the complete package, move, size. You played against him. What was the greatest challenge he presented?
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, he does have it all. He's got the great speed, and then when the ball's in the air, it's tough to get around him as a defensive back. You're breaking on the ball, but you can't get around him because he's so big and he uses his body.
12:08 to play in the 4th quarter. The CFL Live returns on TSN right after this.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you by Goodyear.
And the Win a Lear Jet for a Month contest is also provided by Goodyear. Blimp sold separately.
Is your life boring? Are you tired of the same old thing?
Suck it up. Get in the game. The CFL is back and more radical than ever. The action never stops. It's hard-hitting, high-scoring football. Get in the game. Wear the attitude.
Go, 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 go. Hey, suck it up. CFL football. Get in the game.
Hey, is that leather?
That's right. This is the Subaru Outback Limited.
2 sunroofs. Nice touch. I hear it has full-time all-wheel drive.
Yeah. Miles a turn better than a Blazer. Subaru Outback. The world's first sport utility wagon.
You know, the wife and kids would really like one of those.
Mr. Dave Thomas?
May I approach the bench, Your Honor? According to our records,
You haven't tried our new pitas.
I guess I'm guilty.
Come try Wendy's delicious fresh stuffed pitas today.
These are great.
You know Charlie Small.
I do. He should be back in 2 to 3.
An original 6 matchup on Molson NHL tonight. See it on TSN.
Fourth quarter here in Calgary. Stay tuned at the conclusion of today's game for the TSN Turning Point. Brought to you by Apple Auto Glass. Guaranteed the pick of the crop by over 150 dealers from coast to coast.
Some things in life are perfectly clear. Repairing your windshield instead of replacing it makes sense. An unrepaired windshield becomes 50 pounds of unrecyclable garbage. Let Apple repair that stone chip and do your part for the environment.
Play just underway in Calgary. The pass from Damon Allen intended for Mike Trevathan falls incomplete. That will bring up second down for the BC Lions with 11:56 to play in the fourth quarter. So next week, the BC Lions are looking at the long journey to Montreal.
Well, once this year in the regular season when they were playing out in Hamilton, they left an extra day early to just get that jet lag off them, and it worked. They won, so they'll probably do that for the playoffs as well.
Yeah, well, playing Hamilton and playing Montreal, two different things.
Yeah, no, I'm just talking about.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. No question. Sorry to bring you back down to earth, big guy, but I'm just saying. Different deal. Allen completes it to Nick Mazzoli. He's brought down hard on second down, well short of a first down. And BC will have to punt. And you talk about guys having big pumpkins. Boy, how about that? Oh, it's tough to get the cigarette through the old pumpkin, isn't it? You didn't think about that before you carved that out. Oh, don't stick the straw in your nose there, boss. See, there's all those things you don't think about when you wear a pumpkin to the football game, do you? Gotta get the straw through there. Where's my shirt? See? Boy, that's a pretty sight, isn't it? His parents must be so proud today.
Oh, boy.
Hey, did you see me on TSN today? Yeah. Julio Caravana with the punt. Marvin Coleman at the 35-yard line. Here comes Coleman, who in this game became the Stampeders' all-time punt return leader. And he has it out after a return of 14 out to the 52-yard line. Talked about it earlier. This is what will happen next week, assuming Calgary wins. Stop laughing.
I can't get over the pumpkin guy. I'm sorry. Okay.
Calgary home to Saskatchewan. And you have fond memories of a Calgary-Saskatchewan semifinal game. Hey, maybe Saskatchewan can recreate that Grey Cup year. Go to Calgary and win, then go to Edmonton and win, and then win the Grey Cup.
Well, based on 2 nights ago, I think it's a stretch, but...
Wow. There it is. Glenn Suter, the former Saskatchewan Rough Rider, officially off the bandwagon. Dave Dickinson, now in a quarterback for the Calgary Stampeders. Last week, passed nearly 300 yards, but he took a pounding from the Argonauts. Dickinson, lots of time, gets away from Chaders. Now running, look out. Oh, Chaders got a second bite of the apple and took a big bite as he hauled down Dickinson for a loss of about 3. Dickinson now saying, you know what, Jeff, if you like to finish out the game, that's fine.
Well, this is the reason that he's in there, though. I mean, especially with the way Chaders been playing in the second half, he's a little bit frustrated and playing to the back end of the whistle every play. And
I told you the story earlier this year when I first talked to Dave Dickinson. I mentioned that he, like Bobo Bilovich, was from Montana, and he up with the Obi voice. Yeah, I've heard about him. So all those guys from Montana, I don't know if they eat helium for breakfast or what the deal is. Flags fly before the play is off.
Dave Chaders plays the back end of the whistle and the front end.
Through the whistle, they say.
Yes.
He plays through the whistle.
Well, it's frustrating for him. And
illegal procedure, Calgary 15.
Procedure the call against Calgary.
He was drawn off by the snap count, but you know, it just surprises me. Think about 2 nights ago, Saskatchewan lays an egg in Winnipeg, and the BC Lions just come out flat in 2 games that were really important to the franchise. I mean, Saskatchewan 2 nights ago had a chance to host a playoff game. BC had their fate in their hands today.
I think if you think about the top 4 teams, the top 2 teams in each division, I would say only one, Calgary, is happy about the way it's going in the playoffs. The Edmonton Eskimos certainly didn't overwhelm Hamilton yesterday. Montreal might be happy with the win over Toronto, but the Alouettes have had their troubles lately. Well, certainly Saskatchewan can't be pleased about the way it's going into the playoffs.
No, for sure. Saskatchewan and BC they're going to be shaking their heads all week trying to figure out what they have to do to get things back on track. But That win for Montreal today is huge, I think, for that franchise, especially without Mike Pringle, who didn't play this afternoon. What a confidence builder going into the playoffs, knowing that you can. It's just that belief system is there. When you can beat that team, Toronto's played so well all season.